There's a video on YouTube. You can look at Truth or Tradition channel. John Shainheit, he's the head of what's called the Spirit and Truth Fellowship International. That is another so-called biblical Unitarian group. And you might know him if you are familiar with an event that took place called Converge. So a friend actually alerted us to this, and this friend is in Europe, which is scary. That's the extent of our YouTube influence. So that's why we have to be careful when we do YouTube. We have to be careful as pastor teachers what we teach, because it reaches far and wide, not just the room or the basement you're doing your videos in. So Mr. Shainheit in this video called "Do Not Wait to Get Saved" says in part,
you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. So let's take a look at the odds. I mean, really, okay, what are we winning? What are we losing? Okay, let's say I'm going to wait for salvation. What do I win if I win? I get to live the way I want to now. I do anyway. What is it that's so much fun? Oh, I get to smoke, I get to drink, I get to be with women or men or whatever. You know, I get to do what I want and not be responsible to Jesus Christ. You know something? You can live like that after you're saved. Jesus Christ loves sinners. I mean, is that new news to anybody? I mean, really, the whole New Testament, the four Gospels are full of how Jesus Christ loved the publicans and the sinners. There's no place where Christ said, if you're a sinner, you can't be saved. Now, does God want you to live in willful sin if you're saved? No, he doesn't. And frankly, I don't think that's very wise either. But the fact of the matter is, willful sin doesn't keep people from being saved. Absolutely not. If you really want to sin after you're saved, do I think it's the wisest thing in the world? No. Do I think it's something you ought to do? No. Do I think you lose your salvation for it? No, I don't. Like I said, you know, Christ loves publicans and sinners, and go find me a Christian that isn't a sinner. Come on. Everybody sins. I sin. Even when I try not to sin, I still sin. Sin doesn't keep you from heaven. If you're sitting there, well, I don't want to get saved yet because I still want to sin. Sin doesn't keep you from heaven. Why would you? Man, talk about know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
So that's Mr. John Shainheit in Spirit and Truth Fellowship. And that's one of the reasons why I personally was against this event called Converge, because although we might agree on the one God, and many millions of other people do, by the way, mainly Muslims, Jews. And we know what the Apostle Paul says in Romans 10 about his own fellow Jews. They have a zeal for God, but guess what? Paul says without knowledge. So to me, that's outrageous, blasphemous. Someone did say, by the way, I put this out everywhere, and I'm getting criticized, by the way, as usual, but that's all right. But someone did say, I know Mr. Shainheit, I follow his ministry. I agree 99%, this person said, except on this. And I'm outraged, and I'm going to contact Mr. Shainheit, who usually replies to me, says this person. So I hope he replies to me when I tell him I vehemently disagree with this position. So I hope anyone out there who knows this ministry or knows this man, I don't know him personally, can also do that.